today we are going to talk about a new customer service approach that Princess now has in place, as well as we've got some other updates. We're going to talk about Princess Easy Air a little bit more and how Norwegian handles their air, which I'm going to say I kind of like. And then we're also going to talk about something that will maybe help you with your cell phone so that it will work a little bit better when you are on Princess and trying to use that Princess app, or if you're on another cruise line trying to use their app. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Tuesday. It's January 17th of 2023, and I want to start off by congratulating Emma of Emma Cruises on reaching 200,000 subscribers. Along with Tony and Don, Gordon and I have watched Emma for years and have thoroughly enjoyed her channel all of this time. We remember her back in the early days when she first started, and we are just really excited for her to achieve this milestone. It seems like this second 100,000 has come really quick, and so we couldn't be happier for her, and so we just feel like we wanted to congratulate her here. And then also, one of you was so kind, along with marking this milestone, Emma put out a little thing and saying, if you're new to this, just keep trying, keep going, and keep doing your best. And one of you was so kind to put that over on our Facebook group just to remind Gordon and I to keep going. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for being so thoughtful of us, and thank all of you who watch our videos and share your experiences with us. We really appreciate you, and we are so glad to have you here with us. So congratulations, Emma. Now, the first thing that I wanted to let you know about is I think that we are all aware, all the cruise lines have their customer service lines, and some of them have it, that when you call in, you can push a button if you happen to be a travel advisor, and it routes your call a different way. And on Princesses, lately, it used to give you the option to push a certain button if you wanted, but lately it hasn't, and they are announcing that they have a brand new customer service department, and it's called Princess Partner Support, and it is support for their travel partners. And I am really hopeful that this will be a really great resource, as well as I am hopeful that it will take some of the load off of Princess's regular customer service line. So when you're a travel advisor and you call in, there are several things that they can do for you. It doesn't sound like they can do everything to a booking that we would ask them to do that we ourselves can't do on Polar Online, but I think it's going to be a really great resource, and I'm really excited to give it a try. So I just thought it would be fun to let you all know about this. So if you happen to notice that the wait times get any shorter on the regular Princess customer service line, this might have something to do with it. I am going to add that I did just try to call earlier today just to see what it was like, and they did have a long hold time. I don't know if this is being outsourced the same way that Princess has outsourced the rest of their customer service. I feel like when they outsource their customer service, that's when we started seeing a lot more problems. I'm really hopeful that it will still get better. I don't know if they are looking at bringing it back in-house or if they are going to leave it outsourced. I feel like you never have the control for quality when something is outsourced the way you do when it is in-house. But we'll hope for brighter days with that. But also my hat's off to those Princess customer service reps who do an amazing job. There are still a lot that really know what they're doing, are very gracious at helping, and it's such a pleasure when I get one of them on the phone. So thank you very much for everything that you do for all of us. Now, another thing that I wanted to make sure that everybody knows about, there's a lot of things actually, so let's talk about Norwegian for just 1 minute. One thing I wanted to let you know about is the news that Norwegian is going to go back, it sounds like, to the in-person muster. They are not all starting on the exact same day on all of their ships. It sounds like it's rolling forward. We're going to be on the Norwegian Breakaway on January 29th on that vloggers cruise, which is of course going to be lots of fun. And but along with that, on the Facebook page for that, the people in charge, the administrators, mentioned that they have been told that they're not going to have an in-person muster on that day. So we will let you know how it goes, but you know what? Two things. First of all, I get why cruise lines, I get why they're going back from the standpoint of, I think that there were a lot of people that perhaps said they watched it and didn't, and Norwegian was one of the ones that they couldn't register if you watched their little safety video or not. I noticed that. So you could just go to the muster station, say that you did it, and then you were checked off. And so in real life, if you are not very familiar with how it works, if you do have to muster when you are on a cruise ship, that can be a problem for safety in the long run. Gordon and I have done the muster enough times, and I'm kind of the kind of person that pays attention to things like that a lot, that if that happened, we would know what to do. But I do worry about your first-time cruisers, people that have only been a couple of times and aren't really aware. And then it amazes me that even with the simplified process, even as we would get close to a time that it's time to sail, we still hear over the loudspeaker them saying, if you haven't done your muster, would you please report to your muster station so that they can account for you? And so I think that this is maybe just what they think the easiest way is to make sure that everyone views the safety procedures and is actually in that place so that they can all get checked off at the same time. Would you all let me know what you think about that? While I understand that, I also very much enjoy being able to watch the safety video and then go have my medallion if you're on Princess swiped at your muster station, or your cruise card if you're on another cruise line. To me, that's pretty simple. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, the other thing that I want to talk to you about Norwegian with is we're going to use this to kind of segue into Princess Easy Air. So all of the cruise lines have their own air system, like that you can book flights through if you want to, and they all kind of do it in a different way. Now, if you book with Norwegian, and if you're not familiar, often Norwegian will include with like one of the perks of booking one of the cruises is that you get like the air for the second guest for free, or some special perk to do with booking your flights. A couple of things that are really important to know though with Norwegian is it's a little bit different than we're used to, like with Princess and Celebrity, where you can go in and book, you choose the day you want to fly, where you want to fly, and then you go through and choose. You can choose out of what they offer, the airlines that you want, kind of pick which flight you want, and that will vary your price point a little bit, but you can choose, if you want more your non-stop or more stops. And you have a lot of options. With Norwegian, they're just going to get you from where you're leaving from to where your cruise is departing to. And they're not going to, you don't get to say, oh, please put me on whatever airline. They're just going to book you. They'll do that usually between 45 and 30 days out from your cruise. And then once you receive that flight information, you can't call Norwegian and say, you know what, I don't like that airline, I don't like that departure time. You just don't do that. If you want to do anything about your flights, you call the airline directly. And that's the point that you can choose your seats, or go online. You can choose your seats, or if you need to make a change with your flight, you call the airline directly. To me, there's good and bad with that. I think that if you're very savvy, or not even very savvy, but if you're comfortable with taking care of your own flights, then it's really simple to go ahead and call and do that, or do it online. If you're not quite so comfortable with doing it, I think that's a little bit harder. And so be aware that that's how Norwegian does their flights. And then when you're looking at Princess Easy Air, this is a really interesting thing that I really honestly had not thought of before, but I think it's very important to consider when you're deciding if you're going to book your flights with Princess Easy Air or not. There's actually a lot of things I think you should consider when you are going to decide how to book your flights, but the thing that I had not thought of before is if you are someone that you either don't like to take care of your own flights, or you don't want to take care of your own flights, or you're not really comfortable if something gets canceled, getting in there and finding out something else, or picking another flight and doing all of this kind of stuff, you are a really good candidate to go ahead and book your flights with Princess Easy Air. Because once that happens, if your flight gets canceled, then they will do something to help you get another flight. At the same time, if you receive a notification from an airline that your flight is canceled, you have to, and you go in and it's not showing up on your Princess Easy Air flights, then basically you have to talk to the airline, and sometimes I've heard you can get a code to tell Princess Easy Air that then they can see that that flight has been canceled, because they're not going to do anything about your flight until they receive notification that it's canceled. But like I said, if you're someone that if your flight's canceled, you would like someone else to help you get that problem fixed, then definitely book with Princess Easy Air, because they will help you with that. And another thing I think that it's really important to remember is how's the best way to say this? You know, sometimes it's a little cheaper to book a flight without, you know, not in Princess Easy Air. Sometimes it's very much cheaper to book a flight in Princess Easy Air. And so to me, it's just kind of the thing of navigating where you want to be with your flights and how much you're willing to pay for the luxury of having it to be whichever way you want, right? So we, as I mentioned not long ago, just booked our flights for our cruise out of Southampton to Norway in October, and we just booked them directly with Delta. They were a little bit cheaper, and we're very comfortable with getting different flights if we need to. And after what happened to us last summer, I'll just be really happy for that to be that way for now. But at the same time, I understand completely that things can happen directly with the airlines that make you just not very happy either. But I wanted you really to think about that when you're thinking of how you're going to book your flights and trying to decide if you're going to do it with the cruise line or not. If you want help with it, that's a really good way to get help with it. So I just wanted to let you know about that, kind of think about that. If you've got other questions about Princess Easy Air, don't hesitate to ask, because Gordon and I will add, like I always like to add, Gordon and I went on like 13 cruises until on the 14th is the time that I had trouble with Princess Easy Air. All of the other times, everything went really smoothly. And it was during, you know, it was last summer. It's when travel was crazy and people were still getting over, getting back from the pandemic with travel and everything. So it was at a crazy busy time, and I get that. But I think things go smoothly more often than not, is what I want, is the main message I want you to know about that. Now here's a really kind of interesting thing. One of you sent me a photo. You're on this, they're on the Sky Princess right now, one of our Let's Go family members, and they noticed that on the Princess Patter there's a note for people using sun loungers, and it says, as a courtesy to your fellow guests, please be advised that sun loungers must not be reserved or saved, and that towels and personal items will be removed by a Princess teammate after a 30-minute period if the lounger is not occupied. So that is new. I know that we have heard them ask people to do that before, but it's a new thing, I think, to see that happening more often. So if you're on the Sky Princess, are you noticing that happen a lot? And if you're on another Princess cruise ship, is that little notice on your Princess Patters? Because that made me go back and look, and that's not on my Princess. I can't, did I look at the one for the Discovery Princess in October? I know that we looked at the ones for the Regal Princess when we were in the Mediterranean this summer. So let me know if you are noticing that. And I honestly think that probably, you know what, maybe it wasn't, because we were not sailing at full capacity when we were at the sailing from the Mediterranean this summer. But as the ships fill up again, I think that that age-old problem of people getting up early, putting their towel or their bag, whatever, on the lounger, and then thinking they're going to come back a few hours later to that prime location, I think that problem is probably coming back again since the ships are full. So let me know like what ship you're on, if you're seeing this notice on your patter, and if you're noticing either your belongings moved or seeing the crew members moving someone else's belongings who aren't using their chair. So, and I think that, you know, a half an hour is good enough. I think within a half an hour you should be able to go, if you're going to go get a piece of pizza or go get a drink and come back, that's enough time. Or, you know, if you have to run to grab something out of your cabin. So let me know, do you think a half an hour is long enough? I appreciate that. And you know, I know that in a way, to me, it seems really funny that the cruise lines have to do that. It sounds a little bit like kindergarten, but at the same time, Gordon and I have been on deck before and seen loungers reserved for hours at a time when no one showed up to them. So I see why it's important. Now, if you are like a lot of us, and sometimes the Princess app, or if you're on a different cruise line and the app is not working quite as smoothly as you want, our Let's Go family member Carrie sent me an email, and we were talking about the VPN thing last night on our live a little bit, and then I really appreciate him sending this to me, because sometimes on your cell phone you can have a VPN, like a virtual private network. And Gordon assures me that I don't have that on my phone, but if you do, Carrie says it's really important to turn it off when you're on board because either it doesn't recognize the ship's Wi-Fi is a trusted source or it thinks it's malicious. So either way, it doesn't work well. It makes it so that the ship's Wi-Fi is not going to work well with your phone, which is going to make it a lot harder for you to use the app of the cruise line that you're on. And so he said that when he gets on board, he turns off his VPN and that everything works much more smoothly. He said you are going to get some notifications about an unsecure site, but don't worry. And so but then the app will work much more smoothly. The only thing is you have to remember when you get back off the ship to turn it back on again. But I wanted to put that out there for those of you that have that so that you know that maybe turning it off will help you out a little bit. It's worth a try because I know that sometimes the Princess app will work really smoothly and sometimes every time I open it, it either freezes or else it won't load everything right. And so maybe try something with your VPN if you have one of those. Now, just really quickly, I wanted to let you know we've got another Let's Go family member on the Discovery Princess, and they are having a splendid time. They are very pleased with everything that they have experienced so far. They said that the food is amazing. Eating in the main dining room for breakfast and dinner is really good. The only thing that didn't quite meet their expectations was the Crown Grill on embarkation night. And that's really interesting because last night in our live we were saying how it seems like the Crown Grill on the Discovery Princess is not as good as the Crown Grill is on the Royal Princess. Our Code 4 for Life Let's Go family members, and they've got their own channel, so go give them subscribe and watch their videos because they do really good videos. It's just the word code and then the number 4 and then for life. Anyway, they were just on the Royal Princess and they were on the Discovery Princess when I was, and then a little bit longer, October into November, and they said that the on the Royal Princess the food at the Crown Grill is excellent, whereas it was not at the Discovery Princess, and it sounds like it's staying not quite that great on the Discovery Princess. So maybe if you want to eat at the Crown Grill, don't do it on the Discovery Princess, okay? At least until we get word that it's getting better. So if you are eating at the Crown Grill on the Discovery Princess and it's getting better, let us know, alrighty? The final thing that I want to let you know is I have gotten a couple of notifications from just a couple of you lately telling me things that you are really enjoying on the Princess ships, and one of them is the ultimate balcony dinner. And that's where you have a table, you eat out on your balcony, they come in and serve you. So many of you have commented just recently, and I just love it, how much you enjoyed that and that you really do think it is worth it. I think that the charge is $100, but everyone who has told me about it lately comments that they really think that it is worth it, that the food has been superb, that the service is excellent, and it's just lovely just to have two of you there, or however many you would like to have served there on your balcony. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you are going on a special cruise, you're going for your anniversary, or just celebrating anything, or simply celebrating that you get to be on a cruise, I think that this is a really nice option. And Gordon and I have never tried this, but maybe we will give it a whirl. I don't know if we will on the way to Norway because that's kind of going to be cold weather, but the next time we are on a Princess cruise in some warm weather, I think it sounds like a lovely idea. So if you've done it, let us know in the comments, and if you have anything else to share with us, if you have been on a Princess cruise lately, or you are, or any other cruise lines, we would love to hear from you. We have people here who sail all of the different cruise lines, so I really appreciate all of your updates. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like I always say, we really need you here with us. If you appreciate these updates, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.